coming up and everything, and shit, I was thinking about doing other videos, and I thought, nah, they ain't important, not compared to Halloween, you know what I mean? So here's some stories for you that I do remember, you know, and some of them ain't from actually Halloween. Anyway, it don't matter none. But History Channel was running a deal about the real story on Halloween, right? And they go back into the origins, all this other, you know, stuff like that. And I just happened to come across it while I was giving out candy this evening, because the city says, well, no, nobody wants to do it next week when Halloween actually is, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can almost understand that and what have you, but we got to see, we've been, I'm sure people don't do it in the cities or whatever have you, but every year there's a larger gentleman that drives a tractor and drags around a bunch of kids on an old trailer. You know what I mean? Like 25 kids going house to house, right? And that's, well, they'll wipe you out on candy quick. Well, I missed them this year, but I got other kids, of course. You know what I mean? So anyway, that was one of the stories. Just they wipe you out. And it seems like we don't get kids trick-or-treating much no more. Well, of course, that's the way it goes. When I was a kid, you didn't have no damn money to go get no costume or nothing along them lines, so it was whatever you was to make or what have you. You know what I mean? And, of course, there's many times that you'd see about 15 ghosts running around with bed sheets and eye holes cut out, tripping over shit and sweating to death, you know, because Halloweens are always different every year here. It's either freezing cold or freezing rain or 80 degrees. You know, you can't never tell. This year it was mighty cool, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it has been. There's been some of them, just cold. Well, anyway, we always had to walk. You know what I mean? Now, there were other towns Mom and Dad take us to, and you know, they drive us around. You know, but usually it wasn't ever just you. It was somebody else's kids as well, and everybody carpooled, you know what I mean? And anyway, so it's getting into the deal now where mostly kids, in fact, I saw 0 kids walking today. 0. Doing Halloween. Trick-or-treating. And none of the kids ever say, trick-or-treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. Nobody says that. Nobody even does any tricks no more. Right? No flaming bags of dog shit or anything awesome like that. But it's full moon tonight, and the coyotes was out back hollering and hooping and everything like that, so it was a good night. So anyway, way back in the day, all right, my grandpa, way back in the damn day, before Oklahoma was a state, when it was still Indian territory, before the land runs, well, they was up in Kansas ways, right? And the deal was, back then it wasn't so much about rooting around to get candy, right? Back then it was more along the lines of raising hell and getting your ass shot at for raising hell, because Halloween used to be a bad thing, you know, like it gets woolly, it's, you know, wild, you know, shit like that. And I do know that because, boy, the old-timers get to a drinking and you got kids running around raising hell, you know what I mean? Now, that'd been in the cities, that'd be one thing, but out in the country is something else, right? Now, I never got to do it because it was all pretty much all long gone, you know. I'll tell you. Now, others of you that's country, y'all know what I'm going to be saying, the Southerners. You know what they used to do. You still hear the fucking stories. But anyway, so what it was every year there's this farmer down the road from them that would get pissed off, right? Because the kids would run around and they'd knock his damn outhouse over, turn that sumbitch over. So he swore and be damned. He put the word out. I'm going to be sitting in that friggin' outhouse this Halloween. I'm going to have a shotgun with me, and I'm going to load up anybody turning over my damned outhouse. Okay? Alright, so sure shit, Grandpa got together with like 3, 4, 5 other kids. I can't remember what he said. And they snuck up there And they said they swore and be damned he was in there. Somebody was in there, and they commenced to taking a rope that they had found, whatever have you, their kids. They probably thefted it out, thieved it, and tied that son of a bitch's door shut, and then kicked that bastard over. And that old man or whoever was in there was commenced to a thrashing and a hollering and what have you. And they said they run like hell, But anyway, there you go. I remember somebody telling me their daddy used to do a damn wolf whistle when 55 Chevy was brand new. You know what I mean? 55 Olds Chevy. When they was brand new, they used to do wolf whistles on them, right? Straights with a wolf whistle. Now, if you don't know what a wolf whistle is, I can't help you, but I can tell you this. You go rolling down a damn city street with a wolf whistle running, and it will crack plate glass windows, especially when you rev the motor, okay? And you'll say, that's bullshit. No, trust me, there's a reason they're illegal to do that shit. But anyway, on Halloween's, we used to be, I don't know if none of the rest of you remember this here. But, of course, now, there were times when the old-timers told me they didn't do Halloween because it didn't have nothing to give away. You know what I mean? The best you'd have would be something like food. Maybe a little bit of food, not candy or nothing like that. But I do remember when I was a kid, it was popcorn balls. All right? And there were 3 ladies, older ladies on my end of town that did nothing. It seemed like they did nothing but popcorn balls. We used to love to go down there and get them popcorn balls, and all of them are gone now. And I miss the popcorn balls, caramel and all that. I miss that. And I remember, and I had to actually ask my neighbor on this one. He's older than me. I said, because I always check up with him on Halloween, right? On Halloween, are you going to put out candy this year? Well, I don't know if we're going to get no kids this year. So I was like, well, I don't know if I'll do it. Let's see if we get 1 or 2 kids, and then if it keeps up pretty good, then we'll just keep giving them out. So he got about 40 some odd kids. I had about 20 some odd kids or so. I mean, anyway, the point was, it just doesn't seem like we get as many kids, because I used to remember it seemed like it'd start before dark, and all the locals would be walking, and then all the out-of-towners would come through, as the out-of-towners go to each other's towns, you know what I mean, and go clean the neighborhoods out, and then that would be it, and by 10 o'clock, it would start slowing down, and by midnight, you wouldn't have nobody. Hell, we used to have drunk teenagers show up, in the car. Bro, bro, give me some candy. It's like, well, so you asked the right magic words, son. You get some fucking candy. Get your drunk ass off my fucking porch. Or I call John Law, you dumbass. Get out of here. But anyway, I remember when I was a kid, when you go to some houses, they just give you a bag of popcorn. And I remember asking my mom when I was little, Mom, why the fuck are they giving me a bag of popcorn? Because, kids are, it's not chocolate or sugar-filled smack. I can't shoot it in my veins. And Mom was like, some people ain't going to give you no candy. Be damn glad that you got fucking popcorn. And also that we're driving your lazy asses around, because when I was a kid, we'd walk 8 miles. They'd always throw it back in your face. The old timers would. You lazy shit. I used to walk all over this place. Well, hell, if I tried that now, somebody'd shoot me. Anyway, the point was, it seemed like that's what I remember, is that we didn't have no damn money, and some people give out popcorn and what have you, but when I had the money, I always made sure you get the good candy, the little candy bars and stuff. I ain't no rich man, so I ain't giving out no fucking full-size candy bars. Y'all people are fucking nuts. You know how rich I'd have to be to do that shit? Rich. Okay. Now, anyway, of course, down here they have Halloween parties just like anybody else does, but it seems like the cities are stepping in more and more to well, there was a time when it was, people egging and toilet papering and what have you across all this other shit. Anyway, point is, I'm assuming the city stepped in like they did way back when, because I'd heard about that, and I just heard about it, but it wasn't until I watched that History Channel deal on Halloween that I remembered Grandpa, one of them saying, so one of the old timers saying that the cities were kind of cracking down on that because the kids was getting so bad, they was liable to burn the pasture down or half the town down, doing it the old Halloween way versus just going and getting candy and etc. So they kind of changed the old Halloween from you running around raising hell to you, being a rotten little bastard, to you getting candy and stuff. And now it's changed again to where you go like to a fire department deal or a city hall deal or something, which nothing wrong with if you ask me. I couldn't imagine. I'm going to have to ask True Puka how the fuck they do that in somewhere like New York City when they got people all packed up in them apartment buildings. Do you literally just go door to door, just knocking on every... God almighty, if you was to live way down on like floor 1 and you got fucking 80 floors like an office building, damn, or 20 floors, do you know how many fucking rooms that is? Damn, you wouldn't have to go, you couldn't work a whole block. That'd wear you out, and you wouldn't actually be going no more than 40 foot in either direction for 2 hours. That's just fucked up. But anyway, so what have you, I ain't never turned over no damn outhouse with nobody in it. The outhouses were pretty much, if you was to try to push them over when I was a kid, they would have collapsed anyway. They were shot. Nobody was using them, right? So because indoor plumbing had arrived on time and on schedule, so that there wasn't no call for me to go pushing over somebody's outhouse. But I will tell you a story that a friend of mine told me, and it was about summertime. It wasn't about Halloween, but I'll throw this in here. And I'll tell you here and now, I've heard variations on this story, and the people will stand right up and swear to God that they've had it happen to them, and it ain't funny until it happens to you. And then you'll be all like, wow, I really get the point of that fucking story now. Well, what it was is the dude I know, his daddy's full-blood Choctaw, right? And his daddy was a full-blood Choctaw. Well, they might have one evening, his dad, all right, my friend's dad, decided that they was going to go get some watermelon out of a dude's patch down here. Okay, him and another dude. It may have been 2 dudes, but if I remember rightly, the story was just one other dude. They got out in the watermelon patch and was grubbing around. The old man's patch they were in stepped outside with his shotgun, and both of them turned to run, and he unloaded both barrels in the back of my friend's dad, and it was full of fucking rock salt. And he said from his ass to the back of his neck, he was loaded full of fucking rock salt. He come home, and he told his mom, and this is back in the day, all right? He told his mom, and his mom told him, let me tell you something, take it like a fucking man. Don't say nothing to your dad, all right? Don't say nothing to your dad. And when we sit down to eat, tomorrow to eat dinner or whatever, just, just sit down normal if you see him. Don't be getting uppity or nothing like that. His dad comes in, and evidently catches on. He says, what in the hell's wrong with you? Why are you acting weird? Why are you walking stilted and fucked up and all stiff and everything? And, his mom said, go ahead, fuck it, tell him. He's already figured it out. And he told his dad, so, well, we went down there and we were going to steal us a watermelon, and he laid my ass full of rock salt. And he said, I'll tell you what, boy, I ain't going to touch you. I ain't going to cuss you. You lay down here on this floor, we're going to have to pull that rock salt out of your ass and your back. He said, you can't leave it in there. Okay, you think it hurts fucking now. You cannot leave that in there. We got to pull that out. And he said, by the time I get done pulling that rock salt out of you, I can guarantee you'll never fucking do that again. Which is probably why that old man filled you full of fucking rock salt. And he said that he laid there on the floor, and his dad went to commencing to pick that rock salt out of his back and out of his ass. And he said by the time he got done, A, he was crying. A, he was crying. And B, he was so sore for, I can't remember, a couple of weeks is what my friend told me that his dad told him. Said he was so sore he couldn't do shit. And he swore up and down he'd never steal another damn watermelon over that. So, all right, kids, don't tell me how the law don't work when you load somebody full of rock salt. Won't take but the one time. And he ain't the only one I've ever heard tell it, getting out there and getting winged with rock salt, either in one of the ass cheeks or the back of the legs, or and I'm telling you, every story that I ever heard from the old timers was the same. I was a crying. It hurt so bad, picking that shit out of me. You know? So anyway, there you go. I don't know what, like, people like Max Kaiser or Gerald Celente, them fucking Northerners. I don't know what the Northerners do, but down here it used to be way different. You know, generally you had to be careful because people was a drinking and what have you. This is a woolly motherfucker down here back in the day, especially pre-statehood. Anyway, that was the story for you there. I'm sure others of you got your own damn stories, but I was just sitting there thinking, for a Halloween story, you know, a set of Halloween stories, one of them which wasn't even Halloween, which could be. I could change it, nobody give a shit, but the deal is I ain't gonna change it. It was during the summer. Anyway, so there you go, kids. Y'all take it easy. And don't. Well, I tell you what, fuck this. I'm going to get Sir Randy Tooth and Pontifex and maybe Raw Dog, because Raw Dog's kind of shitty. He'd do it, right? You give him some silver coins, he'd do it. We're going to go to Obama's house, and we're going to wait till he gets in there and fucking kick his shit house over. That's what we're going to do. Steal magic mitts, magic underwear, buddy. Off the clothesline. Wait till he goes skinny dipping and steal his clothes. Anyway, there you go, kids. Have fun.
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자